Welcome back to Open Firm Foundations, where we have heart to heart, Christ centered conversations about healthy relationships. So as much as it is easy to point out the toxicity in other people, my question for you is, are you aware of your own toxicity? And today we're actually going to be talking about, are you the toxic friend? The truth about toxic friends is that they may be struggling with themselves. I can recall many times in my life where I could really easily be labeled a toxic friend, but really it's because I was going through a really rough stage in my life and I was just of no use to anybody. The reality is we all go through challenges that can affect the way that we treat and respond to the other needs of people. However, it is never okay to mistreat others based on what we are going through. However, it still happens. So, the first sign that you are actually a toxic friend is you are highly critical and think you are superior to others. So, what that looks like is you find it very difficult to accept people as they are, and you regularly criticize and judge others for what you see as their faults. You also belittle people's choices and project that you could have done better. You're just better. And the truth is, putting other people down will never get you ahead. However, this entitlement can often be an unconscious attempt. And I say unconscious because maybe you don't know that you're doing this, but people who are actually secure and do not struggle with self doubt or do not have low self esteem or are not insecure, they don't go around trying to put other people down to get ahead. But yes, the first sign is you're highly critical and you think you are superior to others when you're not. Number two, you are controlling slash manipulative. And what that looks like is you don't really genuinely connect with people because you want to get to know them. You connect with them because you just want to see how you can benefit. And the minute that maybe people are not useful or beneficial to you, you cut them off because there's no other need but the means to an end, the means to your end. Number three, you never apologize or admit when you are wrong. Nothing is ever your fault. You blame others for everything that is going wrong in your life, and there's just not a lot of just self reflection in what you do. Number four, you're actually not against going low if you're upset or someone disagrees with you. And how this looks like is you'll bring up people's past, you'll take aim at their character. The thing I would say about this too is not only is it toxic, I want you to remember that the words you speak can never be taken back. They can only be forgiven by that person that you said them to. And oftentimes there are some words, some phrases that you use towards people in situations that it sets the course of the relationship because people have non-negotiables and no one needs to be in a friendship with you while being disrespected. Number five, you're very passive aggressive. You make snarky remarks about someone, and as soon as they, call you out on it, you dismiss it as a joke. Backhanded compliments are your thing. Number six, you don't consider other people's feelings. You don't see why you should take someone else's feelings into consideration when making decisions or making choices because it just simply doesn't matter. People's feelings don't matter to you. Number seven, you lie for free. You don't think twice about lying to get your own way, whether that's manipulating people into doing or thinking a certain thing or hiding activities from someone you trust. Nothing is beneath you. You will lie and lie your way out of anything. There are people that lie so much and they think they are deceiving other people and that people are not catching on. But people know that it takes so much energy to call you out on so many lies that people just let you cook. But it doesn't mean that they're not catching on. Like, when you're the type of person that no matter what you say, people are taking it with a grain of salt because you're just such a dishonest person, I don't know, man. Things have to switch up. The next one is your favorite conversation is one that's solely focused on you, about you. You're the type that when someone's talking to you, you appear to be listening, but really you're just waiting to insert yourself so that you can make the conversation about yourself again. I don't have to tell you, but this is very exhausting. And what it's really dangerous to, not dangerous in terms of like life or death, but it can really result, it can manifest you not really knowing what's going on in the lives of your friends, your family members, or even colleagues. And the saddest thing about that is you don't know what's happening, not because they're not telling you, but because you never stop to really be like, hey, are you okay? What's happening? And let's say you're not aware of it. Let's argue that you're not aware of it. Take a breath, slow down. Ask yourself, have I been speaking for a long time? Did I ask the person in front of me, hey, are you okay? Have I checked in? And if all of these questions are a no, stop talking. I know there are times where we're venting. This is not for the times where we're venting and we need a good hour or 30 minutes of our friend's time because we want to explain a situation. No, I'm talking about if you're always speaking about you and you barely know what's happening in the lives of the people you love. You say you trust because it's just your show, everything's about you. So those were all the signs that you might be the toxic friend. And honestly, those signs are not easy. To be honest with you, like some of these signs, depending on what I was going through in life, they could really be me. Like there are times in my life where I just didn't have capacity for other people. I did not care for their feelings. I mostly talked about myself than others. I was manipulative. Gaslighting is not something I dabbled in. It's not something that I did. I didn't try to control people's realities, but I was pretty much passive aggressive though. Like I was afraid of being vulnerable and letting people know how I felt. And I remember there was this one friend, I'll give a little story time. There was this one friend that every time we would meet up, she would be late and she would just laugh it off. And for a long time, I actually understood, like I was annoyed every time, I'll be honest. And I would make passive aggressive jokes about it, but I would never tell her directly, like, hey, I hate the fact that every time we're meeting up, you are always late and I'm always left waiting a huge amount of time for you. I think that's very unhealthy when I'm taking a bus and I'm giving you my time and I'm getting to places and you have me waiting every time. But what happened is one day I got tired and I was just like, hey, if you're gonna be late, I'm not coming. We should just cancel. And this friend was like, ha ha, ha, I don't mean it. I'm just busy. We're both so busy. That's why this keeps happening. I'm like, no, it has nothing to do with being busy. Like, honestly, this is actually not okay. And it's very inconsiderate that every time we're meeting up, you're late. And that was the last point of contact with the friend at that time. What I came to find out later on is she wasn't aware that I hated it. She was just like, yo, I do this to my other friends and they just allow me. So I just assumed it was okay. But when you told me that you didn't like that, I realized like, okay, maybe some of my friends are okay with it. But if you don't like it, I need to work on that. And to be honest, that was so important to me. But I also realized that me not sharing with my friend that I did not like this did not give her the opportunity to maybe understand that maybe this is not a thing to do. I'm not saying that I have to be the one to teach her that lesson, but sometimes people only know what they know. So if you don't like something, just say it. Just say it. And then how that person moves around your boundary or your non negotiable will let you know how they feel about the friendship or what they want to do about it. But I feel like saying how you feel really does help sometimes. Just a little story time there. I try not to be too long, but I always want to share a story because as much as I'm presenting this topic to everyone, it's something that I still really navigate and it's something that I made a lot of mistakes in and I'm just trying to share. Whatever you want to take from it is up to you, but I just want to share enough so that hey, if you want to go down that route, you can, but I'm gonna let you know what comes with it. Maybe after hearing some of the list, you're like, damn, that's me, but I don't want that to be me. And that's amazing actually. It's good that, you're able to acknowledge your own toxicity and then being like, hey, maybe I don't want to do this. But unfortunately, sometimes, like I mentioned in many other parts of my other videos, is sometimes we are so used to doing certain things that it just becomes our norm. Please do not start reaching out to people and start trying to fix relationships that are already strained. And the reason why I say that is because you realizing that something is toxic is not translating to you actually working on it and those behaviors actually improving at the point of realization. So I say all that just to say, give yourself time, like take some time to yourself and also seek the guidance. I'm always mentioning guidance because I believe in wise counsel. I say wise because you need to speak to people that actually make sense and can really understand and really pour into your life. Speak to people that you know are going to tell you the truth. Take it to God. Ask the Holy Spirit for strength. Ask Him to really come into your life and give you direction, discernment, community, and a teachable spirit. When I say a teachable spirit, I really mean it because acknowledging your own toxicity really is taking that step to be like, hey, Holy Spirit, I pray that you search me and really point out the things that are not serving me, anything that's not serving my relationships. And the Holy Spirit, He's going to do His thing. He's going to really help you. But when you actually find out the things that you need to work on, I pray that you have enough discipline to be like, hey, I know these patterns are hard, but I'm going to do it because I want to be a better person, or I want to have a closer relationship with God, or I want to live in a way that pleases God. Do it. If you don't have a community of people to talk to, I always recommend also joining a small group. I don't know if your church has small groups, but small groups are a great place for you to dig deeper into the Bible to understand what the Lord calls you to be and the kind of person you need to be if you're a believer. And also, it allows you to be in a space with other people who are still navigating their journey with God too, and maybe just giving you that level of encouragement and having someone pray over you is always helpful. Prioritize learning about Jesus and what He wants for your life. Because sometimes I think in my life, I would say, like, I was not operating in my purpose. When you're not living intentionally within your purpose as a believer, you actually really don't know where you fit. So you end up just going with the flow. As Christians, we're actually not called to go with the flow. We are called to submit our lives to Christ and go with His flow. In the next video, I hope to share some transformative questions or just some words of how to really be a better friend and what it is to be a good friend. Not what it is to have a good friend, what it is to be a good friend. If that's the step you're ready to take, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy. Bye.